Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adams Show. You guys are welcome, especially. As you know, my name is Adams Olafemi, and today's episode is the 65th episode of the Otumba Adams Show, where we share about business topics and everything related to business. All right, so how have you guys been? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are doing well. How's business? How is life generally? All right. Okay, so today's episode we'll be looking at habits entrepreneurs should stop, or you should stop as an entrepreneur. All right, we'll be looking at habits you should stop as an entrepreneur. But before we dive right in, if you are watching and you would like to introduce yourself, you know how we do it. Put your name, put your location, and introduce yourself. And I would welcome you especially. All right, so if you'd like to do that, quickly do that before we dive right into what we have today. In today's topic, we have 12 points I'll be highlighting on the things you need to stop as an entrepreneur if you would want to make your business grow on the long run. All right. So let me quickly dive right into that. All right. Number one on my list is Rejection Advice. As an entrepreneur, you should not be this hard-headed type of person that believes he or she knows everything in the world, right? You should be open to receiving advice from other people, especially from people that are seasoned in that field that you would want or that you need help in. Do not assume that you know it all, right? Just have it at the back of your mind that like you actually need to get advice from people. And that is why it is recommended that you should have a mentor, right? Everybody needs a mentor in their business. I've discussed the reasons why you need mentors in your business in past episodes. You can easily just scroll through my channel or on Facebook and quickly check that out. But you need a mentor that would advise you, and you must be willing to listen to advice given to you by those mentors, right? It's very, very important. It is very, very key if you want your business to grow. If you find it difficult listening to advice, then on the long run, you would make silly mistakes that you could have actually scaled through if you actually listen to advice and if you followed the advice, especially an advice coming in from a mentor, right? You need to listen to mentors and then heed to their advice so that your business would be able to grow. If you do not, you'll find yourself to blame. Now, that's number one I have on my list. Moving on to number two is complaining. Complaining. A lot of the time, things would definitely not go the way you planned when it comes to your business, and then you'd be like, "Why is this thing happening to you? Why is the country's economy going this way? Why is this affecting your business? Why is that affecting your business?" And before you know it, you probably would end up turning out to be a nag, right? Complaining does not solve anything when it comes to business, right? You need to take the bull by the horn and then be ready to adjust accordingly. If things are not working in your favor, then you should be able to like have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, and then find ways of solving that problem. Face the problem head on, rather than for you to complain about that thing that is actually causing you to complain. The more you complain, the less time you have to actually take actions to solve that particular problem. So rather than complaining, right, as an entrepreneur, you are not meant to. Yes, you would have downtimes that you feel that like, hey, the whole world is against you. But in those moments, go back into your shell, go and rest, take your mind off work. But when when your mood is better, then come back and then do what? Forge ahead, face that problem, and then solve that particular problem. As an entrepreneur, do not complain. Complaining would never solve anything. So that's number two on my list. Moving on to number three, we have overpromising clients. Right now, a lot of the time, especially when it comes to new entrepreneurs, right, they tend to want to please clients, right? They tend to want to show people that like they can do a certain thing, and at that point in time, they end up overpromising what they might not be able to accomplish. Now, if you're doing that as an entrepreneur, it is a very, very bad habit because people would know you as someone who promises but is not able to meet up with the expectations or the promises made. If that is your way, if that is what you are used to doing, please desist from it. Try as much as possible not to promise clients what you know you cannot do. It is better for you to promise what you know you can do and then over deliver than for you to overpromise and then at the end of the day you would not be able to meet up to that promise. I know you're trying to get clients. I know that like your business is probably just booming, or sorry, just coming up rather, and you want to get as much clients as possible. But please do not overpromise, because once people realize that you are the type of person that promises and then fails, the word would spread. They would tell other people that like, hey, do not do business with this particular person because they promise and they do not deliver on their promises. All right, do not do that. One of the people that like I once had experience with was a particular guy that was selling a course on WhatsApp, right, earlier this year. I actually wanted to buy another course, and then this same guy, would I say there was a way he spoke bad of the course I wanted to buy, and then the next thing his boys rallied around, and then they were saying that like, hey, this guy is the best in this thing, that you don't have to buy that course, that buy his own course. And I ended up buying this guy's course, and it was terrible. Sincerely speaking, I couldn't just ask for a refund because there was no refund for his own course. He promised to create a PDF and then send us a particular thing. Till date, he has still not done it. I think 2 months ago, I went into his DM and I was like, hey, dude, how far with this thing that you promised us? And he blanked out. He did not reply my message. Do not over promise, because if what's the word? If you do and then you cannot meet up, it will give your business a bad name. All right. So moving on to the next point. Number 4 on the list is building castles in the air. Now, we know that like when someone just starts this entrepreneurial journey, right, they have this mindset that like, I'm going to be an overnight success. And that is the mindset they walk with. They assume that everything is going to be rosy. They can quit their 9 to 5. And once they enter into the entrepreneurial world, give or take in the next 6 months, they will be the next Elon Musk. It does not happen that way. If you are building castles in the air, on the long run, your business is going to crash. Don't what's the word now? Do not have this mindset that like, hey, things are going to be rosy once you enter into the business world. It is never rosy, right? Everything in life takes process, every single thing. So don't assume that, hey, once I become an entrepreneur, it's going to be all beds of roses. Nah, there will be times of failure. There will be times that like you wish you could just hand over the business to someone else for the person to work on, right? There are a lot of things, there are a lot of challenges that you're going to face in your business. And the earlier you face reality, the better. Because if you face reality and then you know what is actually happening around you, you know the reality on ground, depending on the country you are in, the economic situations of your country, the time that you are, right? Doing business years back may be much more difficult than now. But even right now, there are a lot of challenges that come up, right, as a business person. So don't build castles in the air. Don't tell yourself that like, hey, this thing is easy peasy, I'm just going to get it, because at the end of the day, man, it will shock you. And that is it. All right. So moving on to the next point, number 5 on my list, right? We have always saying yes. Always saying yes to everybody. Now, this also pertains to people that are just coming into business. They just want to please every single person. They want to work with every single person. They just want to be everywhere. And then just because they are trying to get their first few clients, they start saying yes to all the demands that their potential clients give to them. Now, it is not everything that you can do on the long run. Have that at the back of your mind. Know this and know peace. It is not everything that you can do as a person. It's not everybody that you can say yes to. It is not every business that's business owner that you can actually work with. right? You need to realize this and learn to say no to certain things. There are times that like people will bring businesses to you that does not favor you, right? Learn to say no. Do not say, if it does not favor you on the long run, do not say yes. If you're not trying to use it to build network or like build a relationship, please do not say yes, right? Learn to also say no, especially if it does not pay you, right? I know your business is just growing, right? But learn to say no to people. It is not all this. Yes, they say customers are always right. But when it comes to negotiation, you have to learn to negotiate as an entrepreneur, right? Negotiate the prices. Don't just say, if I don't say yes to this person, would I be able to get another client? If it does not favor you, please, hands off. Your client would always come to you. The ones that can pay you would always come to you. Don't suffer yourself just because you want to please everyone. All right. So that's that about number 5. Moving on to number 6. We have not knowing how to plan. Number 6 is not knowing how to plan. Now, this particular one, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So as an entrepreneur, you need to realize that planning is very, very essential. Very, 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 as an entrepreneur, you need to learn to plan. You do not just wing it, right? You don't just wake up one morning and then be like, is it Q Sarah, whatever will be like, nah, it doesn't work that way. Have a detailed plan of what you want to do for the day, right? Have a detailed plan of what you want to do for the week. And with that, you know that you are working towards a goal, right? But if you do not have a plan, then anything goes for you, right? Like somebody brings something up and your attention is distracted towards that thing. Somebody else brings something else and then like you are looking at the other thing, like you don't have a focus. You need to have a plan, and that would help you to do what? To focus. If as an entrepreneur you do not have plans, then I don't know why you are into business. Okay. So number 6, if you do not know how to plan, that is a habit you need to stop. All right. Moving on to number 7, we have comparing your business with others. Comparing your business with others. Now, this particular thing, a lot of people do it many times. They would be like, my business and that business, we started at the same time, and all of a sudden, their business shut up overnight, and my own business has not gotten there yet. Please know this. Everybody's time is different. And then there are other factors that you might not see working in their favor behind the scene, right? Now, there are some people that like they have done their homework way beyond the time that both of you started the business. There are people that like they have more network than you do that has helped them to do what? To grow their business faster than you have. There are some people that they have more capital than you do, right? If you're comparing your business with their own business, on the long run, you start feeling bad. You start feeling depressed. And that's the truth, right? You start feeling depressed and you'll be like, I started this business. Look at business B, look at business C. Like they've already grown and then mine hasn't grown. Like what is happening? Now, there's a difference between competing and comparing, right? There's a difference between competing and comparing. Now, you can compete with other people trying to grow your business, right? Trying to know what they do so that you can also inculcate their own culture into your own business. But please do not compare. You can compete, but do not compare with yourself, your business with other businesses, because that would only lead to depression. Now, some people are actually living fake lives. Some businesses are actually living fake lives, trying to showcase to the world that like they are doing exceptionally well, whereas they are not doing anything at all, right? Know this, that every business have their own times, they have their own seasons. And if you do the right thing when it comes to your business, if you're diligent with your business, with time, your business is going to grow. So please do not compare your business with any other person's business, all right? So that's that about number 7. Moving on to number 8, we have easily distracted by notifications. Now, this is one thing that sometimes it affects me too, right? When it comes to notifications from your phone, notifications from your laptop, like maybe just see a message that just pops up on your phone and then instead of you to focus on what you were meant to do originally, you get distracted easily at that point in time, and then you start doing something else that you are not meant to do, right? That is a bad habit as an entrepreneur. You need to curtail, you need to kill if possible, right? Do not get distracted by every other notification that pops up, either on your phone, on your system, or probably like calls are coming, WhatsApp notification, Instagram notifications, Facebook notifications, and all that. Try as much as possible when it comes to work. If you need to go on airplane mode, right, to focus on what you need to do at that point in time. Remember, I said something about planning, right? After you've planned what you need to do for the day, then please, if you need to go offline so that you can be able to work effectively, then please do that. Do not get distracted easily by every form of notification, because you would not get anything done. One of the things that like is or gets to affect me sometimes is the fact that like there's a particular game on my phone that is Scrabble. Anytime I see that game, I I lose concentration, and I quickly go to that game to play my opponent that is probably somewhere in another part of the world. Now, that is a bad habit that I am really working on. And yeah, on the long run, I think I'm going to delete that game, because that game has a way of distracting me. All right. So if you know that like there's something that also distracts you as an entrepreneur, find a way to kill that thing. All right. So that's about number 8. Moving on to number 9, we have not knowing how to prioritize your tasks. Not knowing how to prioritize your tasks. Now, do the first things first. The most important part of your business, focus on it first, right? Have a hierarchy of the things that you need to do. For every business, you know that like profit is like one of the number one thing you need to focus on, meaning that like you need to focus on how to get more sales as a business person, as compared to doing other menial things that has to be done within the office. Those ones can wait a while. So learn to prioritize what you need to do, right? And then focus on that particular thing that is much more important than every other thing. As a business person, please do that, because if you do not, then you would only be chasing the wind. On the long run, we all end up procrastinating certain things, right? If you're doing the wrong thing, focusing your energy on the menial things, then at the end of the day, you would end up procrastinating the most important things to your business. And you do not want to do that. So learn to prioritize what you need to do, and then focus on those things, such that even if you do not do the other ones that are what's it called? If you tend to procrastinate the other ones, but they are not as important as the key ones that you need to focus on in your business would not suffer for it. Number 9. Moving on to number 10, we have what? Overworking. Now, a lot of people believe that like, hey, if you're going to, especially for those veteran entrepreneurs, those ones that have been there for a while, and then they are trying to like make that 6-figure, 7-figure thing, and they just want to outshine every other person, and then they focus on work so much that they begin to overwork themselves. If you do that, know this: you stand a risk of having a heart attack, right? Especially if you work over 10 hours a day on your job. If you work over 10 hours a day on your job, you have the 60% chance of having a heart attack. Aside from that, I wrote some other things down that like could happen to you, right? Let me get my notes. Okay, so you have a low libido, right? If you overwork yourself, you would definitely have a low libido. You would have a weak immune system, meaning that like other germs, other diseases can easily attack your body just because you're overworking yourself. Again, you have a poor outlook on life, because you would always be critical about everything, because you would feel that like you are not doing enough and you want more time for yourself. Do not overwork yourself. You only have one life, guy. Right? You have just one life. So make the best out of it. I am not saying that like do not work, no, but do not overwork yourself. All right. So that's number 10. Moving on to number 11, which is the penultimate number that I have, is neglecting other areas of your life outside work. Now, this is like from this overworking yourself, and then like you focus so much on work, and then you neglect every area of your life, right? You neglect your family, you neglect friends, you neglect your social responsibilities, things that like, or people, relationships that you're meant to build, you neglect those things. You neglect exercising, you neglect every other thing, and then like you focus on work and work and work alone because you want to hammer. As we say in Nigeria, I want to hammer, I want to make this money. No, that is a bad mentality, and you really do not need that. All right. So learn to balance your work life with every other areas of your life. Learn to balance everything. Do not let one starve for the other, right? If you need to like communicate with your family, with your children, please create time for them. It is very, very important because at the end of the day, when you have this money and then there's nobody around you to celebrate it with, you have become a loner, then where is the joy in it? And that is why we've had cases where people have literally committed suicide because they felt that like there was no point living again because they've gotten all the money that they could, but they feel empty inside. So learn to balance your life, your social life, your work life, your family, your spiritual life, every facet of your life. Please learn to balance it. Okay, that's where you would be able to do what live a better life as an entrepreneur. So Oluwabumi Akinde is saying, I'm trying to like put that up on my screen. So overworking and habits I need to stop. Yeah, great. Bumi, you need to stop overworking yourself. All right. You only have one life to live in this world. And then moving on to the very last point that I have on my list is trying to be in control of everything. Now, as an entrepreneur, you cannot be the alpha and omega of your business. You go crash. And the annoying part about it is that, like, when you're trying to be the all in all of your business will begin to lack creativity. And it also kills the growth of your business because everybody knows, all your subordinates, the people that work with you know that like, hey, if I do not do it the way my boss wants me to do it, it needs like the way he sees it, then no, you just need to do it the boss way. And then like you as the boss also, you are breathing fire and brimstone on these people. On the long run, everybody, you turn your staffs to robots. You would not give them room to be as creative as possible. Do not try to be everything and anything. No, be something in your business, right? But don't try to be everything in your business such that you are everywhere, right? You are the one doing this one, you are the one doing that one. Nobody does anything that is good enough for you. You just have to always like, somebody writes a letter, you have to rewrite it. Somebody does something, you have to redo it. Somebody creates a logo for you, feel that like, no, this is not good enough. I can do a better job. And like, you just want to be everywhere. You are going to spread yourself so thin that at a point you would not be giving your business your very best. Your role as the CEO, focus on that. Focus on the things that like you're meant to be doing as the head of the company. Do not meddle in other people's area. That is why you employed the best. Let them do their job and see how your business would grow. With these few points that I have raised, I hope you've been able to learn one or two things that you need to stop as an entrepreneur. And even if you're not an entrepreneur, right, some of these things can actually help you in your everyday lives, and you will be better off for it. On this note, I have come to the end of today's episode. I hope you've been able to gain something tangible. And for those of you that stuck till the end of this program, thank you very much. It means a lot to me. And as I always say, be the best God has created you to be, and give the world your best. Peace out, guys. Enjoy your day.